Sleep Dead Bears. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and holiday season. And I am glad you are here. So, today you will be experiencing a dream from your bed, a dream that I had, but in your perspective. Yes. Coupled with mic rubbing ASMR sounds. So, you're gonna be sleeping by the time this is over, guaranteed. So, without further ado, I'm gonna put you in this dream. Hop in your beds, and now onto the dream. So, you are now in the dream world, and imagine you are a typical student or employee or whatever. You are happily enjoying your young adult life. It's a typical day, and specifically in the morning. So, you decide to go into your local coffee shop. Could be Dunkin' Donuts, or Tim Hortons, or any fast food chain that sells morning coffee. And you walk in the store, and you do sit down for a bit. Oh well, you do relax, and eventually you decide to order something. You kind of needed the coffee to get through your day, and so you decide to order something. So it is a typical order. 1 extra large pistachio cafe, something like that. It can be any cafe, but in this case, you ask for pistachio syrup. And you paid with your card and went and sat on a table. And then you are served. They said $2.30 or something like that. And then you paid. Yes, you did pay. And as you recalled, you kind of look around the place. It's very beautiful. The ceiling's high. And wow, it is a very nice place. In fact, it is close to being luxurious. Like it's like a coffee shop, but kind of like the place kind of feels like it is more of a scaled up coffee shop or advanced luxurious. Something that rich people would go. And you received your drink. It's very big. A little smaller than the large McDonald's cup, if you could compare. And you start to sip it, and right away you loved the drink. It is so tasty. You could feel the steam coming out of the cup, of the warm beverage. And so you casually sip away your drink, and halfway through your drink, you suddenly have a strong feeling like something is up, something is not right. And that's kind of when you've recalled the fact that the girl, she said 2:30 or something like that. And that made you feel uneasy. You suddenly have this strange gut, a strong and unshakable gut to look at your transaction history. You don't know why, but you have this strange feeling. It's so strange you cannot shake it out. Look at your transaction history from your credit card or debit card, whatever, that you used. And so you decide to check your purchase history on your phone's banking application. And you decide to go over and look for their most recent coffee beverage purchase. And here is the thing. When she said the price, it was supposed to be $230 something for an extra large pistachio beverage. And as you go over the transaction history, the first one that says, it says 230 something. It's not like 2.30. It is 230 without a decimal point. Yeah, that means 230. And maybe it is an error of the server. And so, oh no, you then think that the cashier has made a mistake, that she typed in 230 instead of 2.30 or something on the card reader, and that you paid 230 something for just an extra large pistachio beverage. You have to go back to the cashier to correct this and address this issue. And so you decide to go there. Okay, so I'll leave this for now, and before I continue, I am going to give you, guys and girls, a 2.5 minute break of just ASMR tingles, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. the trigger tingle break is over. Now, let's continue off with this dream imagination. Alright, let's go back to your dream. So, you have to go to the cashier to address this issue, the mistake. And so you decide to go back, but the cashier was gone. In fact, there was nobody else taking any orders, even though there were still people at this coffee shop. And so you're starting to feel really cooked. And you then happen to call someone from the bank to come over to this coffee shop and discuss my problem with this order. A simple pistachio beverage turned into chaos in terms of numbers. It went from a simple $2.30 order to straight up $230. Someone from the bank came over. He was very tall and had this very clipboard to take notes, as if this was like a serious criminal investigation or inspection. And you started to talk to him. However, you don't remember exactly the conversation. But you do remember that your instinct is to go back to your transaction history. And so you try to do it. However, you couldn't manage to find it. When you look back at the transaction history, you just stumbled across purchases, but there were anything but the very purchase of the $230 order that you just placed today. Instead, what you see are purchases from decades and decades ago, back in the 90s and even 80s. You see one from 1997. You see another one from 1992. Another one from 2001. Another one even from 1985. And so many more back in the 90s. You know that the majority of them were back in the 1990s. You just found everything else but that very purchase that you did today. And so after scrolling down on your phone, trying to mindlessly search through your transaction history on your phone, on your mobile app, you can't really find that one purchase. And now the guy that came from the bank started to become very impatient and wanted to leave based on his pale facial expression. You then told him that you'll go back to the bank app that you have on mobile so you could buy some time so you could see your transaction there too. You then assumed that you used the internet to go to a website previously to access your purchases. But as you do, you somehow got locked out. You had to type in your credentials, your login information, and your password. And oh boy, it was very unfortunate. You know that sometimes it locks you out. And so, due to a timeout, you have been locked out. And now, the dead moment. The moment that you had to remember. There's something that you had to remember. You unfortunately did not remember it. You could not remember your password. Oh shoot, I'm screwed. You cannot see your history. I cannot see my history. You think to yourself like that. Your voice becomes your inner voice that's living in your thoughts. Feels loud, sounds loud, I meant. Oh my goodness. That is very unfortunate. He left. The guy that was supposed to help you then left and tells you not to be freaking stupid and remember your ass. And then he walks out of the door and closes it. And as you see at your table, you look at the receipt that somehow has magically appeared out of nowhere. And it's so weird that you have not seen the receipt before for this order until the very moment that the guy left. So you could not see any proof. There's no way for someone to help you. It's like as if the case is closed. You look at the receipt and you see one item, one extra large pistachio beverage, and then it says total cost $230 and something. Paid, thank you. Please give tips. It says on the receipt something like that. Thank you for coming. And so the shock has come to you that you have been set back $230 just from this place. Rest in peace, your $230. It is okay because it was just a dream, and eventually your dream ends and you wake up. I hope you do enjoy this video. This will hopefully put you to sleep. So if you got in your ASMR triggers, please give this video a like by gently tapping the like button. I would greatly appreciate it because I want to get everybody to sleep. Pay your sleep debt and set your balance of that sleep credit card to 0 and be sleep debt free. So if you want that to happen, please make sure to subscribe. It'll be really, really helpful for me and for you, and you will not be missing any of my future videos. So I hope to see you again, and until next time, I'm sleeping.